Hey guys, in today's video we're going to continue working on my much neglected R2 Cruiser powered scooter. In the last video we got it to fire on ether, but the carburetor is definitely gummed up and we found a leak in the fuel tank. Let's take a look and see if we can get this fuel tank sealed up. Thanks for stopping by. I'm hoping this is going to go fairly well. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but there's a little bit of a stress crack down here in the just in the bend around that mounting tab. The rest of them seem to be okay, and that's the only place where it's leaking. So I'm hoping with a little bit of plastic welding we can get that cleaned up and make it so that this is going to hold liquid for us, because having a functional fuel tank on a gas-powered engine is kind of important. And with the price of the True Fuel being what it is, I don't think we want to be wasting any of it. Let me put you guys in the stand. I'll rip this off, at least get it loose from the machine. I don't know if we're going to disconnect the fuel lines or not, but we'll get it loose and then we'll see what we got to work with. Tank loose. I'll give this a little bit of a squirt of some brake clean just to try and get it down. Down to the bare plastic as much as possible. Get the dirt out of there so that we get as good of a clean repair as possible. I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but I can see in this little crack right here, this little bit of darkness is a crack. There's also a couple of cracks on the top side of this tab here. I don't know whether this goes into the interior of the tank, but this here definitely does. And in a perfect world, you would take a little bit of donor material off of the main piece and you'd melt that in as your welding rod. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot of donor material that we can pull off of this tank unless we were to take a little bit out of the lip here, but that is our gasket sealing surface for the cap, so I don't want to create a massive fuel leak there either. For this style of plastic, there's a couple of different things you can use. You can use the water pipe or water tubing for water and ice for a fridge. That is a similar style plastic to this. Or you can try using, milk jug, or this is a windshield washer fluid bottle, but it's an empty one that I had kicking around. So we'll cut a piece out of this and we'll see if we can melt it in there and kind of get it to heal up. What we're going to be using for doing that is a Weller soldering gun. This is an older tip that I just found kicking around in my stuff, and this is the plastic welding tip. The idea being here, it heats up just like a normal soldering gun would, and then the flat you use to work in there and repair the plastic. This one is an extra one that I had kicking around. I'll grab my decent gun here and we'll get going. Not that a soldering iron is going to create enough heat to start a fire, but we may as well drain the last little bit of fuel out of this. A little bit different design tip on this one. It's kind of turned 90 degrees and flat, so we're coming at it like this. And the lights, for some reason, don't work on this gun, but I can feel the gun buzzing in my hand, so definitely it's heating up. It takes a little bit. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see, a little bit of smoke wisping off of that. And we're not quite hot enough. There we are. We can melt into our donor bottle. Not melting real fast though. And by taking that up near the spout, I've gotten a heavier piece. We'll start off, we'll melt this. Try and close the crack in the base plastic before we go putting the top layer on. And that may be enough right there to do the job, but I would like to add a top layer on there just to be extra careful. Another style of plastic you can use for welding rod for plastic is tie wraps for these, you know, kind of flexible tanks. And we've got these cracks up on the top. We'll get those. I don't know whether they're leaking liquid or not. Just kind of put some heat into the base plastic and just kind of smooth it back out again so that it looks reasonably close to what it did before we started melting. Crack is being difficult about closing up, but I think we're all right. I don't think that's actually has any access into the tank. It was just this little corner right down in here that did. You can see how it's kind of gone opaque with cooling. With that, the donor plastic is a little brighter white than the base. Okay, I think we're probably okay there. It's not going to be cosmetically perfect. It's never going to be hidden. It's never going to be a hidden repair. You're always going to know that the tank was repaired there. But I'm hoping that that is going to be a decent enough repair. Bottom piece doesn't want to stay stuck. We'll melt it a little harder. One thing I've noticed, the tip does cool off fairly quickly once you pull the power off of it. Work that donor plastic in. Okay, I'll let that cool off, and then we'll see if we've got a liquid tight tank. We'll dump that fuel back in and tilt it so that it's down in this corner. Let's see if we got rid of our leaks. I hope so. Okay, let's dump a little fuel in this thing and see what happens. Of course, we're probably going to dump a bunch of this all over the place. Hopefully it goes mostly in the hole. Feel it running down the back because I spilled it all over the place. Wipe that up. Put the fuel in the leaking end. Well, I don't see anything seeping out of there. Looks like we're bone dry. Perfect. I think we'll call that a win. let's get everything bolted back together here, and we'll see how it looks. Well guys, that went pretty quick and simple. Kind of a short video this week, but it shows you how you can take a minor crack in a fuel tank, repair it up, and get it so that it's liquid tight again. Thanks a lot for stopping by. If you got this far in the video, can you give me one of those thumb up things? Maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Happy to have you come along, and it doesn't cost you a thing. There's links to my merch store below the video. By all means, I'd love to have you pick up some Doug's Messy Garage merch, and we'll catch you guys in the next mess. Thanks for stopping by.